They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
What's up, everyone? My name is Ethan. This is Courtside TV. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is deadline week, and I'm feeling good. We're going to go through every day this week leading up to the deadline. We're going through some of the biggest names on the trade market at the moment. We're going to be talking about the big trades after they go down. We're going to have a lot of content coming out for trade deadline week. So if you're interested in all that, please hit that subscribe button down below. With all that said, I do want to talk about Lonzo Ball today because he is a guy who has been on the trade market now apparently for most of this season. We've heard multiple rumors linking him to different destinations, and he might be out there on the market, or he might stay with the Pelicans. Who knows, right? That's the fun of the trade deadline. Could end up somewhere else, or he could end up staying. But he's in a very unique scenario, so I have a couple of destinations here, a couple of fake trades I've drawn up, and we're just going to go over those. So first of all, Lonzo is one of the more valuable pieces out there. I think specifically with the way that he's played recently, he's kind of raised his value a little bit. He's been playing really, really well over the last month or so, and honestly, that he might have played himself out of trade discussions because he might now be a guy that the Pelicans want to hold on to. But this is interesting because he is an expiring contract heading into the offseason. He's going to be a restricted free agent. So he has the last season of his rookie deal is this year, and following this year, the Pelicans are going to have to decide how much they want to pay him because he is certainly a good player, but he's probably not worthy of that rookie max extension. So it's going to be somewhere in the middle, maybe around $20 million annually, a little more, a little less, something in that ballpark. If the Pelicans are comfortable paying that number, I think he's going to stick in New Orleans. If not, I think we could see a trade happen this week. As far as his value goes, I think he's going to command quite a bit back. Probably a first-round pick and a younger player, as well as whatever the salary filler needs to be. Maybe even a little more than that. I could argue, throwing in a couple of seconds or maybe doing 2 late first-round picks as well as a young talent. So I think he's going to be worth quite a bit, and you'll see that reflected in my trades here. So this first trade here is to the New York Knicks. This is not coming out of nowhere. This is actually reported on via betonline.com. They actually have the Knicks as the betting favorite to land Lonzo. So who knows, how true that is, but there is a rumor out there. So we're going to talk about it. I have this deal as Alec Burks, Kevin Knox, 2 second-round picks, and a first-round pick via the Mavericks for Lonzo Ball. Now let's talk about this. That seems like kind of a lot of value, and I'll explain my thought process here. Burks is a player. He could be in the rotation for the Pelicans, and I think they're still going to try to at least be good for the rest of the year. Even if they do trade Lonzo, they're not going into a tank. So Burks can play for them. Kevin Knox is the young player that they might be looking for. Now, he's seen his value go down quite a bit over the last couple of years, has not really lived up to expectations, being a former top 10 pick. But he, maybe the Pelicans can see something in him and think they can get something out of him. At worst, he doesn't get paid very much, so it's fine. The second round pick via the Jazz in 2023, the New York Knicks' own pick in 2022. You could maybe say, hey, that's a little too much. Plus this Dallas pick here. The Mavericks have been somewhat underwhelming, but who knows where they're going to finish in the standings. They could go on a run, and this could end up being, the 25th pick or the, 22nd or whatever. Or, in a worst case scenario, they miss the playoffs. This ends up being a lottery pick, and that could be really good for the Pelicans. So this might seem like a lot of value for the Knicks to give up, but remember, Lonzo Ball is a very good player. And if the Knicks are willing to re-sign him, they have cap space, so they're going to be able to, sign him to whatever deal they want. Probably not a max, but around $20 million annually, like I said. I think this is pretty fair for both sides, honestly. If I'm the Knicks, I think I would probably do this because you're getting a player who you can, fit into this young core, and he's going to be around for a long time, hopefully. The Pelicans, I think this is a lot of value too. I'm a little hesitant on trading Lonzo in the first place, but if you're going to trade him, you commit and say, okay, we're going to do this. This is a pretty good package. Okay, so I've drawn up a 3-teamer here. I think I've valued this out so that each team is getting enough out of this. But if you think one team is getting shafted here, take it up in the comments, whatever. But this is what I have, right? Pelicans get Javon Carter, Daniel Gafford, Suns first-round pick, and a second-round pick from the Bulls, which was actually their own original pick. I think the Bulls have swap rights with it, and they just undo that swap rights, and then a Suns 2022 second. Bulls get Lonzo Ball, Suns get Lauri Markkanen. Here's my reasoning here. I was originally going to try to do a Lonzo for Lauri swap between the Bulls and the Pelicans, but when looking at the Pelicans lineups, they don't really have a need for Lauri Markkanen. I feel like with Zion and Brandon Ingram eating up those forward minutes, and then can't really play Lowry at center, and even though they have like Steven Adams and Jackson Hayes anyway, so they weren't going to do that anyway. So there just wasn't really a fit for Lauri Markkanen with the Pelicans, so I rerouted him to a third team, and I came up with Phoenix here because I wanted there to be a team to give up a first-round pick that wasn't going to be super high, right? So the Suns are a top-tier playoff team. Their pick is not going to be very high, and so they're okay with giving up a late first in order to get Lauri Markkanen. They're also throwing in Javon Carter, who's a guy who can play, and another second-round pick in order to make up that value to get Lauri on the team. And then the Bulls here are giving up Daniel Gafford and a second and Lauri in order to bring in Lonzo Ball. So I think this is enough value for everybody. The Pelicans are getting, like I said, that late first-round draft pick, 2 younger guys who can come in and see if they have anything, and then a couple of second-round picks in order to balance it out. Bulls get Lonzo. They have been linked to him in rumors. I'm not, he's not a super clean fit in their lineup given Zach LaVine, Kobe White. They already kind of have problems at their guard spots, but this, maybe could help them out there. And then the Suns are getting a power forward. He could slide right into the starting lineup or come off the bench for them and help them in their playoff run. So I think this is enough for all 3 teams here. If I was the Pelicans, I think you could probably get a better offer, but if this is the only thing, it's not a bad haul. The Bulls, I think I would do this deal, and the Suns, I think I would do this deal. So this is a pretty good one, I think. All right, last one here. I had to get one for the Hornets just to get the Ball brothers together. Who knows how this is going to work here. Unfortunately, LaMelo is going to be out for the rest of the year, most likely, which really sucks because he was having an awesome rookie season. But this is a play by the Hornets for the future. If they make this move, they're planning on re-signing Lonzo. They get them together in Charlotte, get the Ball brothers together. This would be awesome. I think, who knows if the Hornets really want to do this. I think LeVar wants to do this. I think the brothers probably want to as well. I think they'd like to play together. I think it'd be fun. Who doesn't want to play with their brother, right? So this would be an interesting one. We'll have to see, how serious Charlotte is about this. They do have a lot of guards, but in this scenario, they're giving up a couple of them, so it's not that bad. I have this trade: Malik Monk, Devontae Graham, 2 second-round picks, one of them via the Celtics in 2023, other one is this year from the Clippers for Lonzo here. So I don't think Charlotte is going to be shopping Malik Monk. I think he's a guy they probably want to hold on to, but if you can get Lonzo Ball, I think you kind of have to part with him. Devontae Graham is a guy who I think the Hornets should look to trade. That is one of my hottest takes of this trade deadline, is I think the Hornets probably should, really try to trade Devontae Graham, considering he is going to be a restricted free agent now. They can always just re-sign him, bring him back. Who knows how much money he's going to be worth in free agency. But he's a guy who, you're going to have to pay, and so you're like, I'm not really sure, is this guy going to be able to keep it going for long term? Because he had a lot of good moments last season. This year he hasn't been as good. He's been injured. So I'm not sure if that was really a flash in the pan or if he's actually going to be this guy, So you get rid of that uncertainty and bring in Lonzo, a guy who is a little bit more proven, in my opinion. And you're going to have to re-sign him, but I think they're okay with doing that. And you're giving up on 2 guys who you would also have to re-sign anyway in the offseason. So, Monk and Graham together is probably about what you're going to have to pay Lonzo. So it's not like they're, huge upgrading in amount of salary here. And then they're giving up the 2 second-round picks to facilitate this. The reason they don't have to give up a first here is because I think Monk and Graham together is probably worth, I think it's a little more value than a first-round pick, to be honest. So this is, I honestly like this trade quite a bit. I think this works. If the Hornets are looking to pair the Ball brothers together, I think this is this is pretty good. Does it make as much sense as some of the other destinations? Probably not. But if they're willing to give up on these 2 guards here, I think they could make something. They could get something done. So honestly, this is probably my favorite trade, even if it's the least realistic out of some of the other options. But I do like this one. Now, all that matters is they have to also sign LiAngelo after this. It's just a stipulation. You got to at that point. All right, so there you go. There's 3 trade destinations for Lonzo Ball with the deadline looming. Who knows? By the time you're seeing this, he might have already been traded. I'm recording this on Monday evening. Things move fast around deadline week. We'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, like I said at the top of the video, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. Leave a like, ring the bell if you want to. Leave a comment letting me know what you think about Lonzo Ball. Will he be traded in the next couple of days? Would love to know your thoughts down below. And if you're looking for more trade deadline content, this is the place to be because we're making videos all week long. With all that said, see you guys in the next one.